Hi everyone. Hi. Well, as you can see, I have been visiting lovely Cape May, New Jersey. I went for a wonderful nature walk yesterday and saw all kinds of birds. And maybe that'll be the subject of a show coming up. But today, I'm going to let you, the audience, have a choice between two topics. And whichever one you want, that's what we'll do our show on. We've prepared for both. Now, the first topic is a secret tape I made of those Hadbrook girls having spring break in Cancun, Mexico. And all of them took off all their clothes and rubbed their young, taut bodies with olive oil and chocolate sauce and just rubbed around on each other while boys hooted and howled. So that's one idea. What do you think of that? Okay. Now the other idea is you're going to learn a new side of Libby Ellen Spooner. Did you know that even though I'm a girl, I'm very good at computer programming? And I'm going to teach you a little nifty function I wrote in ActionScript 3.0. And this little function is a delete at function for items in an array. What do you think about that one? Is it going to be the Hadbrook girls sliming around in oil with their bodies glistening? Or my delete at function in ActionScript 3.0? Your choice. Okay, I was hoping you'd think that. Alright. Well, first of all, I have to explain to you what is an array. An array is simply a list. And in ActionScript, to make one, the easy way, and there is a hard way, but we're not going to worry about the hard way. Here's how you do it. And we're going to make an array of pets. So we use the var keyword, then we come up with the name of our array, and I'm going to call mine pet array. And then in square brackets, we put our little animals. A dog, comma, a kitty, comma, a ferret, comma, a parakeet. Pretty nifty, yeah? Very simple. Now, one thing about arrays is that you have to learn how computer programmers count. We would say the dog is 1, kitty is 2, ferret is 3, and parakeet is 4. But that's not the way programmers do it. They're not normal like us, but we have to pretend we're like them. They start with 0. So dog is 0, kitty is 1, ferret is 2, and parakeet is 3. Oh my goodness, we don't really like ferrets very much, so we want to get rid of him. We don't want him in our list anymore. And we're going to write a function to make the ferret get the heck out of this list. So here's our function. Okay. We come up with the word function, and that says that this is the name we're going to give it. And I called it delete at. And inside the parentheses, we have to put any parameters that we might need. What's a parameter? Well, think about functions that we have in real life, like our bodies. We have number 1 and number 2. To be able to do the bodily function number 1, we have to drink some water or beer or milk or maybe even a V8. And to do bodily function number 2, we have to eat food, preferably with lots of fiber in it. But anyway, that's called giving a parameter to the function. For this function, delete at, we have to give it 2 bits of information. We have to say what is the array that we want to get rid of something from and which item in the array. So our array is going to be the pet array, and we're going to get rid of item number 2. That's how we're going to do this. So then the next thing we do is we're going to make a new array, a temporary array, and we're calling it temp array. And we're going to have nothing in it. It's empty. Then we have an if statement, and we are saying if n, the item that we're going to get rid of, is greater or equal to 0 and less than the length of the array, that means it's one of the items that's actually in the array, we're going to make that item null. meaning it's sort of there, but it's not really real anymore. Then we're going to use a for loop. We're going to have a variable called I starting at 0 and getting bigger with this I++ up until it's less than the length of the list. Our list has 4 items. So once I is up to 3, that's less than 4, but it won't go any further than that. If list at I is not equal, this exclamation equal means not equal, to null, then we're going to push or put this item into our temporary array. Now remember, we're going to make list at 2 null, which is the ferret. He's going to be null. So he won't be put into this temporary array because he's null. Then we're going to, after we've done that, we're going to make the list equal to the temporary array. So our original list is going to be turned into this temporary array. It's pretty clever, eh? I'm no dummy. I might look like a dummy, but I really aren't. I'm amped. And then we're going to return list. Return means to calculate it. And then what are we going to do? We gotta, so that we can use this function again and again, we have to make our temporary back to nothing, have nothing in it again. So let's try this. We can do a trace statement. Now what does that mean? Well, in Flash, which is the program we're using, trace will output what the item is. So if we go to trace pet array, it should have all 4 of our pets, even the undesirable ferret. But then we're going to say pet array equals delete at pet array, comma 2. And it should get rid of that nasty old ferret. Now let's go to trace pet array again, and the second time we see it, it should work just super. So let's try this. Control Enter, and Flash is up. Oh, lucky, it worked. Dog, kitty, ferret, parakeet. But the second time, dog, kitty, and parakeet. Boing! We got rid of the ferret. Well, that's very interesting, Libby Ellen, you may be thinking, but so what? Well, I'll show you a little computer program I made for children to play with and show you why this is valuable. Now, here is a little thing I made, and notice how the whole screen is animated. But let's say I want to take certain ones of these tiles out and have them not move around. So what I can do is I can click on Annie down here, which is the thing I made, and then I'll click on, say, this one and call it the first corner, and this one and call it the second corner, and fill the corners. And I'm using my delete at function, and see how it just takes that little box and puts them out of the animation. And then I could take this one here and say first corner, and this one here and say second corner, and fill the corners, and now it adds that back in. So I have a little feature that toggles between adding something to the list or deleting it from the list. Isn't that clever? Well, I think it is. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I certainly enjoyed teaching you. Bye.